Okay, usually I don't, like I said, I don't like to entertain stuff like this, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do because, like I said, some people just don't learn. And I said this many times in my videos that every time we develop something new or something we're working on, we always have this one individual always following behind us and rants, rows and rants. So anyway, first things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Illuminous, my company is Crystal Edge Technology Screen, but the product is Illuminous 4K Screen Paint. Now, we have a screen that we're working on, we've been developing called Illuminous Superior Ambient Light Projection Cinema. We've done first demonstrations, were done outside, showing off how powerful the screen was at 8, 10, and I think I did one around at 9 o'clock in the morning hours. Now, keep in mind, I've been called a scammer, I've been called this, that, and the other from this particular individual. When I first started developing ambient light projection technology screens, I was fake demonstrations were done against our product, claiming that the product was not ambient light projection, and it was this, that, and the other. If you claim for your product to be ambient light projection, it will be ambient light projection, okay? So, anyway, so I got labeled as a scammer due to this particular individual because I named a price on the product. Because I put a price on the product of the technology that we're working on, the Superior, I was labeled as a scammer. Now, keep in mind that there's no launch date on it at all whatsoever. Now, if there was a launch date on it, I could see. But there is no launch date on it. In none of my videos, and I'll post a video, you can watch it for yourself, I've never mentioned a launch date. Now, the reason why price was added onto it, because when we finally figure out exactly what it takes to actually make it and develop it, and pretty much everything that has to go into it, just because we don't have it at 100% doesn't know that we have ingredients that we're adding to this and things we're adding up off camera to basically kind of roundabout what's our price point, how much it's going to cost us, and we have to be within a certain budget when we're designing this stuff, so it gives us a roundabout idea on how much we're going to actually charge for it. And keep in mind, when a company's building something or designing something, they have a certain budget that they can have to keep it within, but also to be able to produce a very good product. And they already have a roundabout price on what it's going to be marketed and what it's going to sell for. Now, we have contracts attached to our company, and in order for them to be able to build with us on this technology, they have to know exactly, not what's in it and everything, but they have to know the roundabout price on what we're going to charge for it. So we pretty much have it narrowed down at 50% on exactly what is going to be needed to get the screen to jump even better than what it is. But so a lot of people, a certain individual doesn't understand how that works, so the first minute we made the announcement on the price, here he comes running right behind us. Oh, he's a scammer, he's a scammer, he's a scammer. He said it's going to take months for it to come out, but he actually has a price for it already. Big deal. What is your problem? Big deal. Companies do this all the time. You go out and buy a video game, they'll tell you the game is probably going to cost around $60 or $49, but it's not going to be available until like maybe next year. But we're going to have pre-orders somewhere in between when it gets closer to the deadline date. They do this all the time. This is how business works. But it just shows you the level of how far this individual will go in order just to basically just spread out a lot of pollution and a lot of lies. So first thing he starts doing is coming behind our technology and saying, hey, look, have the same thing. There's nothing different about it. But you have to do your demonstrations. And I have to say thank you so much for the advertising, because at first you advertised at one point that our technology was not ambient light projection and it washes out, doesn't really work, it's a scam. Well, by the picture you just posted on trying to slander my company, you just showed off my screen in a fully lit environment, and I have to say it looks amazing. All right, now let's go over to the screen we're working on right now. That's the screen we're working on right now. Now, because we mentioned the price of the screen on what it costs, we are labeled as scammers. Because, you know, didn't consider the fact the screen's pulling up on 200 lumens, the screen's pulling an image outside and beyond ambient light. The screen looks absolutely incredible on just about every level, but yet we're scammers. All right, now let me show you something real quick. We're going to come out here real quick. I'm not going to play his voice because I think that's disrespectful. You don't do that. We're going to come in here. We're going to click on his video that he did of his screen outdoors. Now, this is a screen he claims that exactly like ours, he can save you hundreds. He's doing the exact same demonstration that we are. This is a reality check. Now, I want you to see something right here. The entire time there's a roof here blocking the screen, blocking any light coming down on top of the screen. And you see how the screen is on a slant right here? Any light that's coming in, all this is illuminated back here. Any light that's coming in, it's going to hit the back end of that screen. Now, that screen would fit in that spot perfectly if you were to turn it up and lay it flat. So when the light comes in, it brushes right across the side of that screen. Can't do that, because what's going to happen is he has to have it on a slant, because any light coming in is going to hit that back end of the screen. This is stuff people notice. You don't think anybody notices this. People know. This is why if you look at the picture quality, it's washed. It's even washed out with the screen on a slant. See where the light is right here? It's coming in right here. This is where the sun is coming up on this side. So it's going to hit right across. It should brush right across the screen, but instead it's hitting the back side of it. Why, if you're doing a demonstration on your screen, would you have it in such a, why is this so slanted? That's not a proper demonstration. The screen should be laying flat. All right, now, go back here a minute. Now, apparently, he's showing off lights that he has connected. There's lights on his balcony. The lights on your balcony is not in any way in contact with the screen. Now, see how he's showing the light here, all this, and it's supposed to be in contact with the screen? Your screen is washed out. That's a washed out image right there. It's not the same thing. I'm sorry. I know you really want, you think that your technology is, what you should have did, see that wall right there? You should have stuck it over there on that wall. Laid it against that wall, pulled that projector back around 13 feet and did the demonstration right there. That's what you should have did. Or did on the opposite side where the light's coming up at. That's what you should have did. Now, I'm going to show you my demonstration. Alright? So, I'm going to go back here a minute, do my videos, and I'm going to pull up my screen. This is the demonstration that I did. Screen lays flat against the wall. I have the projector overlapping the screen itself, because his, you can see his image is actually tightened. It's actually pushed to fit. He had to zoomed in on that little square to fit. And as you can see, we got nothing protecting the screen whatsoever. I'm on a 3700 lumen projector. It's probably around 10 o'clock, about 10 or 8 or probably somewhere about 9 o'clock in the morning. I think I was out. There's no awning, no roof, nothing protecting the screen whatsoever. We do not have the same technology. You keep, for some reason, you got it in your head that we have the same technology. It's not the same demonstration. You're not doing the same demonstration as me. Now, let me show you something right here. Come in here a minute. No washing out, no fading to the picture whatsoever. And keep in mind, a white background generates 10 times more light. Alright, so I'm going to come out of here for a minute. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to pull up your video. And thank you so much for the advertisement. I do really appreciate it. I do appreciate the advertisement, you know, showing our screens, being able to pull images off in a fully lit environment. I want to show you, this is your demonstration right here. Keep in mind you're using a 4K projector in a dark environment. Alright, pause it. Come out of here. I'll show you my demonstration. Let me see if I can go over and hit my videos. This is a demonstration we did on our screen that you were claiming to have the same technology. If you notice, the screen sits in a fully lit environment. You see the difference between my environment and your environment? Now, let me show you again here. Go back. to your video. Let's go back over here just for a minute. All right. Scroll down. You're showing off a customer's screen in a dark environment. Now, why would you show off? This is another thing I don't understand either. You're showing off how good your technology is on another customer's video that's being done in an ambient light controlled environment, but you're doing the demonstration itself in a dark environment. What's the point of showing off the screen that someone else is trying to advertise? Say, hey, look, it's ambient light rejection, but you're doing the entire video. You're the original creator, but yet you're doing that video in a dark environment. But yet you constantly want to come against me and tell me that my technology is garbage and my technology is a scam. Now here you are showing off your screen in a dark environment. That's your environment right there. That's how dark your environment is. Alright, now watch this. I'm going to show you something. Come over here and I'll show you what my environment looks like on the daily. That's my environment compared to yours. In no way possible is your technology anywhere near close to my technology. But I tell you, look, man, I'm gonna give you some piece of advice. You're coming off as a hater, and you are. You're coming off strictly as a hater, because every time I turn around, you're doing demonstrations on my technology, trying to say you're saving people hundreds. You have the same technology we do, but yet you don't do the same demonstrations that we do at all. Not at all. And it's funny because, you know, I'm going to tell you something. It's not funny, but I popped in, saw your Super Bowl party. By the way, very good looking family. By the way, very good looking family. But like I said before, they were all sitting in the dark watching the Super Bowl. And in the other areas of the house, you had it well lit. And like I said 1,000 times before, if you're watching demonstrations and you're seeing these demonstrations in the dark, then that's where you're going to be at, in the dark. Because these screens cannot produce images in fully lit environments. You can't claim your technology to be mine. You can clearly see you have a lot of hatred for me because you keep on, you know, slandering me, saying I'm a scammer, I'm this, I'm that, of all these things I'm supposed to be, but, you know, yet you don't match any of our demonstrations. Now, just because I made a mention about the price of the screen, I never gave a launch date of the product or when it's going to come out. And it still has a lot of testing to go through, as in what it's going through right now. I want you to have a look at this. Now my screen is sitting around about 16 feet back. I'm going to pull back and show you how far my projector sits from the screen. Look at the white wall. Overlaps, you can see the white wall in the screen. And it's hitting with over 500 watts of light, not even including the ambient light in the environment. This is the kind of test I put my screen through. This is why my screen can sit up there at 146 inches and produce an image in a fully lit environment. I don't know what your problem is with me, man. I don't know what it is. I don't care. But you need to grow up, man. You're a grown freaking man. You should not be acting this way. You gotta grow up, man. You really do. Every time we do something, you're always running behind us, running your mouth about what we're doing, how we're scammers, this, that, and the other. You know, there's something wrong there, man. There's really something wrong there. You seem like a very intelligent person. You really do. But the way you carry yourself, you're not hurting me. You're hurting yourself. Now, whether or not I put a price on a product and whatever night I put what we're going to charge for it is my business. It's none of your business. And it doesn't make us a scammer because we do so. My product speaks for itself. For you to sit up there and basically make a vicious accusation that I'm a scammer due to the fact that I put a price on the technology without a launch date does not make me a scammer. It makes you a hater. It really does. Now I guarantee you, bar none, on any screen paint you ever developed, that you have never did any of the demonstrations that we do. This is on a contrast video with this much light hitting the screen. "16 feet. And I'd like to thank you for the advertisement. Because like I said, at one point in your videos, you were claiming our technology not to be Ambilight rejection. And we can't develop our own game, but yet, in trying to slander my technology, you were showing off videos of my screen producing images in fully lit environments. You didn't think about that when you was doing that. But usually when people are full of a lot of hate, they basically forget some of the things that they do. They don't see some of the things that they do. Alright, man, with that being said, man, I hope you basically learned something from this and try to better yourself. All that negativity that you got, man, put it back into your product, man. Try to do something with it, man, because you coming at me in this kind of attitude and trying to say that I'm a scammer, because every time we do something, we always got you right behind us, always trying to slander us on everything that we do. And day after day, I come up with demonstrations, doing something different, doing something better. I don't have time to feed in other people's negative, other people's nonsense. Please, man, you gotta learn to grow up. This nonsense is crazy. Learn to grow up. Alright, I hope y'all enjoyed this video demonstration, and I hope to Mr. Crow he kind of gets an understanding on what I'm talking about here, but chances are he's not. He's probably going to come back with something crazy, as always. But like I said, we're used to it. This is what he does, alright? I'll probably design something next year, and I guarantee you, bar none, he'll be right behind her running his mouth with that too. Alright, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. I'd like to thank you all for your time. I got to get back to work. I'm doing a paint on demonstration today, and if it doesn't rain all day, I'm bringing the big boy screen outside. Alright, gotta go.